Well, we're here at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Vancouver, and we're on the red carpet right now. For you people watching in the rest of the country, we're here for the annual 20th, I think you told me, right?
20th anniversary,
That's right, 20th annual Lee Awards. Now, again, as we said, if you're watching outside of BC, this is a night which is excellent. It's a chance for TV and film production in this province to shine with some great awards and some great talent.
And coming up later in our city tonight, we are going to interview some of the actors nominated as well as the directors that are nominated. So we're looking forward to seeing those people on the red carpet.
That's right. That's all coming up later on Our City Tonight. We're with Shane May. He is the GM here at the Royal Crown Castle Restaurant and Bar. I got that all in one. But you have another title, actually, too.
Well done, but we're also with Shane May, who is May Management and Consulting. So, May Management Consulting.
May Management Consulting,
Lots of titles on this gentleman.
You know, we got to tell you something. One of the things, and we want our viewers to know this, the first time you invited Lead and I out here to talk about filming here a few weeks back, we kind of walked in and thought, okay, this might be a good place, get some pub food, all good, comfort stuff. And Lead and I had a spectacular meal.
It was gourmet.
Yeah, it was gourmet. And let's start with the appetizers, because this is not just pub food you got here. Talk about what we're going to have.
No, we've wanted to change the concept up a little bit to more of a restaurant style, as we're a family business. We've started with house-made pakoras here from Chef Herc.
And what is this
which
sauce?
are fantastic. That's a chutney mango.
Oh, yeah.
It's really very nice. Okay, stop, no, wait, hold on, not yet, buddy.
No,
not yet.
no,
Okay,
I'm
not
just
yet.
putting the fork in my hand soon.
And this is chili chicken in-house. And then this is another dish we just put on the menu, the last menu change, about 2 weeks ago, and it is a spinach and artichoke dip. And it's fantastic. And we've changed our chips to El Camel makes these, and they're fantastic chips. And we love them.
As well as gluten-free.
I was going to say,
These ones are gluten-free, yes, so they're great.
Fantastic.
And how has the reaction been? We've known you a long time. You come into a place, you want to get it in shape, you want to change things, you want to do a makeover, kind of like what that John Tafler guy does, like bar rescue kind of thing.
Yeah, without the yelling and screaming.
Without the yelling and screaming. And you
I
got
don't
better
know,
hair, too.
I've heard behind the scenes. I don't know.
We're yelling, screaming, having fun.
How has the reception been from your regulars? I mean, you can still get a great burger here and everything. So we'll talk about the main courses coming up soon. But how has the reaction been to this?
I think they've loved it because everything now is in-house made. It's all we're working towards a scratch kitchen. So it's been really, really well received, really well received.
And you've got just a fantastic chef. We were really, truly blown away when we came, and he said, "What do you like?" And he brought out these dishes that were phenomenal.
I'm pretty much known for doing this in the show. This is where Lita starts talking, and I just start eating.
Well, I'm going to talk that we're out on this beautiful patio too, which wraps right around the castle.
Yes.
And you've got a big inside. You've also got some great event space as well.
Event space upstairs,
So
beautiful.
it really is a beautiful.
Yeah, you want to have a
place.
wedding here. You took us through the what we're looking at right now. Your
Jim
space
is looking
upstairs.
to get married soon.
Well, someone's got to get me pregnant first. But anyway, we'll see what happens. But also, you've got some great entertainment here on a nightly basis. I know you've got a favorite you want to give a shout out to. Not that you don't love all your musicians.
Oh, we're very blessed,
but you have a one particular duo that you're very fond of.
Well, we're Russell Marsland and Raven Blackwell.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just world class.
Very
and
nice.
they do me a favor by coming in and just playing their hearts out. They don't even have a break. They just go for 3 hours straight.
That is Springsteen
It's
territory. That's fantastic. No break.
No break.
Well, you're definitely
No
driving
break.
in the crowds because your patio is full around the corner. I mean, when we arrived, it was absolutely full for I guess the after-work crowd, and it's full inside.
Yes, it's been really, really well received. We have a great team of people here. Tasha, our manager, has been just a dream to work with. It's been a lot of fun. In the beginning, it was interesting with all the. I love coming in and doing deals with all our beer companies and our food companies, and it was a real fun time with her doing that. So really, really proud of her and the rest of the team as well.
So you're going to bring out some main courses for us to check out as well?
Yes, we are. Herc is making up some of his magic.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's all coming up later in the show. We'll come back here to New West. And if you're wondering where this is, We took the SkyTrain out, so this is between Columbia and Sapperton on the SkyTrain line. So come check us out. We'll be back later in the show with some more food here at the Royal Crown Castle Restaurant and Bar. Okay, now I got to eat. Sorry.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, we're back here at the Hyatt, downtown Vancouver, on the red carpet for the Leo Awards.
It is getting very, very busy since we last spoke to you earlier in the show, but we're going to check out some people on the carpet. You know, it's great. We talked to a lot of talented actors. We also ran into a lot of friends we haven't seen in a long time.
A lot of talented friends.
That's right, because we don't have talent and we're not friends, so that's all good. Let's go check out who we talked to on the carpet here at the Leo Awards tonight.
So, Crystal, very exciting. You are the lead in the spin-off for a very, very successful British show, Bletchley Circle. Now, Bletchley Circle, San Francisco, filming here in Vancouver. What's it like to play, well, for that fact, a female character in the 50s?
You know, I'm a history nerd. I say this all the time. It gets old, but it's so true. And what's fantastic about playing a role in this time period, particularly 1956, is that, you know, as I was saying, it's sort of the little spark that started the flame into the 60s, which was such a pivotal era of change, particularly in the U.S. You know, the 50s was sort of white picket fences and sort of the American dream, but there was so much happening under the surface. So being able to kind of delve into people who were living in this time where we were just getting to the kind of on the brink of the civil rights movement with all the things that were happening in the South, and gay rights were becoming an issue, and things were starting to really just bubble to the surface. So it's really kind of an exciting time to be playing a role, particularly a woman, because again, the other thing is coming up is women's liberation, and you know, we're getting into the flower child movement, and so it was fascinating.
It was like the housewives, even if they were doing something scientific, they had to kind of keep it under wraps. So it was very, very secretive.
Talking about another wonderful film that was made right here in BC. Bruce, first of all, congratulations on this film, which I watched this morning. Can you tell our viewers out there who have not seen Kingsway a little bit about this wonderful dysfunctional family?
Yeah, it's a dramedy about depression, suicide, and getting some, I think.
Yeah.
It's a little irreverent.
Right,
it's a little irreverent, but there's it's a lot of love in this family, and I try to make films that really have a good pace, right? There was good pace.
You know what? It was tight, by which I mean tight in time.
Yes.
It moved along. I don't think there was one scene where I went, okay, that could have moved along. No.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what's interesting too, and this is where a film I think really succeeds, where mental illness, I was saying to Camille Sullivan earlier that mental illness is not anything to make light of, but there's a lot of laughs in this film, but it's never at the expense of anybody. It's just characters showing like everybody has everybody's back. Well, it's a serious thing, but there's a lot of laughs in this film. Like, I laughed at Camille particularly many times.
Yeah, well said. As I said, that, you know, there's an irreverent streak, but it's about a serious topic, obviously. But if you have a lot of love in it, you can be irreverent because you're not, you know, taking the piss out of anything. It's just about people and the struggles people have, and, you know, that kind of thing.
Camille, I am a big fan of Van Helsing.
Yay.
And love it. We a lot of friends on the show. We were actually on set with them a couple months ago.
About a month and a half ago, yeah.
I had them on our show. Just love that. So congratulations on the nomination.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about playing that role.
Well, it's a bit of a departure, the episode. It's set in Hong Kong in the 1880s, and I play a British aristocrat who helps Kate Overton find the vampires, which is great fun. We shot it in Chinatown. Michael Nankin directed, did a beautiful job. It's so evocative of that period. Shot some in Sun Yat-sen Gardens. just lovely. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Well, you certainly did the role well. And
Thank
did
you.
Did it a big service.
We have to
Thank
say, and
you.
I'm hoping our camera guy's getting a shot of this, because you are actually wearing a 1956 Dior gown that this is great Hollywood history, which I love, that your mother wore to the premiere of Carousel, one of the big musicals of the 50s and even a bigger movie. Your father, of course, the legendary cameraman. So can you talk about this dress, first of all?
Well, the dress has been in the closet for a long. This is its first outing, I think, since Mum wore it to the premiere. And I can't believe the fabric is still, it's just extraordinary. And as far as I know, it was Dior, it was the Y line. It was one of his Y line designs from the 50s. And I'm loving having Mum with me tonight.
Well, we're back here in New Westminster at the Royal Crown Castle Restaurant and Bar with the GM of this great place, Shane May. We have the main courses put in front of us here. They look delicious. They smell even more delicious. What do we have in front of us, Shane?
Well, we have Chef Herc that's put all this together for us. We've got a chicken Florentine right here, which is a new thing we've just put on the menu. We've also changed and put on a AAA sirloin with a red wine reduction. And then we have our pasta feature that we do different features every weekly. This is a chicken tortellini.
With salmon, yeah?
With salmon.
Yeah.
Wow,
With salmon,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. And it's really, really nice. I had a little bite before.
I see.
just-
There's a little
one
missing
right
part
there.
back
Doing a
here.
little Jim Gordon move
A
there.
little
aren't you?
Jim. Well, you're teaching me
I
really well, my friend.
Lena's got two children to contend with now.
But
There
you
you go.
also have vegan options, and I think that's what you have in
We
front
have
of us.
the Beyond Meat Burger, and when they brought it in to try it, I have to say, it was absolutely amazing.
I was skeptical. I've had a couple meals here, and I had that, and I'd never had a Beyond Burger before. I was skeptical. I thought, no, come on, this is pretty spectacular.
Oh,
and this really goes back to what we were talking about just the diversity in your menu. You could still get a burger, or of course a Beyond Burger, but you're getting some high-end meals here that you might not expect.
No, you don't expect. A lot of this stuff we also do for our catering, and this is kind of how it looks with our catering. And it's one of those when people look at it, they go, what's this? And they're pretty amazed by it. And that's why we're so proud of our team in the kitchen, of the food that they're putting out and the passion.
We talked in the opening of the show, of course, this historic building. We don't want to dwell on this because it's not really a great topic, but this is an historical building. Why?
Yeah, well, it was actually the gatehouse to the prison.
Yes.
So people were brought in and processed and then put into their new homes.
I've got to ask you, though, you've also got an interesting bit of entertainment here in the form of a magician.
Yeah, we do. We have the maestro that comes in, and he kind of periodically shows up. It's kind of funny. All of a sudden, he appears. And then the next thing I know, I'm looking over, and there's this guy doing magic at a table.
Very nice.
And actually, he's quite great.
But it's just beautiful, beautiful view of the river, and a lot of great regulars that are coming back and coming back and coming back.
Yeah, we've just wanted to turn it around. We want it to be a total community place for the locals that live here, so they can walk down. And we've been, I personally feel very blessed with the fact of our owner, Aaron Fish, has empowered us to do what we need to do to make it happen. So a big shout out to Aaron and the rest of his team at Accordius to give us that fun job to do.
Well, listen, always good working with you, pal. And we're going to come back at the very end of the show and say goodbye to you on the patio here at the Royal Crown Castle Restaurant and Bar. Come check it out. We'll come back later in the show. Again, we always say this, I love you, but now, exactly, I got to eat.
Eat
I'm sorry.
time.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Well, if you're a regular viewer of Our City Tonight, you'll know where we are right now. We're back here at the Medical Rejuvenation Center on Georgia Street in the middle of downtown Vancouver, where we visit with Dr. Bob every couple of episodes or so. Dr. Bob, good to be back with you today.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Thank you, sir. You know, one thing I notice, whether it's me doing the segments or Lita doing the segments, we talk about a lot of different services and treatments that you offer here. But one thing seems to be the through line through all of it, that neither treatment or service, anything we've talked about, is not just specific to women or men, which leads me into what we're going to talk about today. Open that up to our viewers, because both men and women are using this treatment.
Yes. Today we're going to talk about PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma.
Okay.
And when we look at our blood, and this is where we've taken medicine and extended it and used it in aesthetic medicine to make ourselves healthier, make our skin healthier, make our hair healthier. So when we take PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma, the blood is divided into 4 parts. One is red blood cells, which is our oxygen, white blood cells for our immune system, platelets, which is our defense mechanism and our repair system in our body, and the plasma. What the platelets do is, if you have an injury or a site where it's bleeding, they'll go plug the area, and then once they've plugged the area, the healing starts and they release growth factors or healing factors.
Right.
And the research in medicine has made that possible to use that for aesthetic medicine.
And which leads us to really what we want to talk about today is the application of this to hair growth, which personally I'm kind of interested in as well, and how exciting this procedure is.
Well, it is exciting. It's really exciting because it's a new frontier of where not only do you repair and make healthy, but it looks good on you, your hair, your face. And so it goes like this, is that if you use platelets, they can be used to stimulate areas like your hair or like your skin.
Right.
And it's a very simple process to take your own blood, spin that down into plasma, platelets, and red blood cells, separate everything off, get the platelets, and use those to inject it into your skin or hair to stimulate growth.
Yeah, because I was going to say, one of the other ongoing themes we have in all our segments is that everything is non-surgical. Because I think that when I've talked to friends, male and female, that were having thinning hair, it's like the big intimidation is, I don't want to go under the knife. I don't want to, you know, my one buddy of mine had some hair restoration done, and he was kind of out of commission for a week.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
That is an issue. That's what is so unique, is that is part of our goal. Not only do we try and make it little or no downtime, but have some effect of its reality where you do get hair growth. And so if you do a hair transplant, for instance, the whole year of waiting for it to grow back and grow appropriately is a year of recovery.
Yeah.
If you do PRP treatment, the recovery is 1 day. It takes about an hour from the time you come in to the time we take your blood, spin it down, get those platelet factors, put it on the scalp, grid the scalp, and inject it in with microneedling. It takes about a whole hour. The issue is you can't go back to work because your head is now red. You leave with a cap. The next day, shower, get up in the morning, you go to work with no hat, no anything. Right,
excellent. And so, as I said, one of the things that we're seeing with all these discussions is it's men and women are taking advantage of this treatment. Have you seen an increase in the amount of women that are coming in? Because everybody suffers from it. Not everybody, but a lot of people do suffer from this loss, male and female.
I know it goes like that. 35% of men 30 years old start to notice visible hair loss, 60% at the age of 60, and 80% of men at the age of 70 have significant or bald hair. Women, 50% of women notice their hair is thinner, not longer, and will like more hair after the age of 50. 50%.
Yeah, because you and I talked about this before. Like, I noticed getting into my 50s is that I've noticed but no male in my family got past 30, so I consider myself lucky. But yeah, once you get to an age, you can see it happening. Let's just then, to recap, so people wanting to come in, the treatment is called again?
PRP, hair rejuvenation.
Right.
And it's a treatment which requires 3 sessions, once a month for 3 sessions. And it is supported by other things, like I get you to take special vitamins, I get you to use a red light stimulation here in the office a couple of half hours twice a week, and to return, and then once a year after you've gone through the 3-time course.
Very nice. Of course, more information can be found on their website, and of course, come in and see Dr. Bob and all his staff here at the Medical Rejuvenation Center. Dr. Bob, thank you for this, because I know I was personally interested in this, but I thank you again for another session, and we will see Dr. Bob and his team on another upcoming episode this summer. Well, what you're looking at right there is Matthew Presidente on stage recently at the Roxy. His new CD is called With the Boys. It comes out, wow, July 10th. That is just around the corner. The album recorded locally at Suna Studios here in East Vancouver. And he joins us here now at one of our fave restaurants that Lita and I often frequent. It's Forage here on Robson Street.
And we love here at Forage, but Matthew, you have been in the music industry as a singer-songwriter for 20 years. You don't look old enough to be doing this for 20 years.
Oh, I know. Thank you, Lita.
Tell us a little bit of that history.
No, it's cool. I mean, I started playing music in 1999, and it was still the wild 90s. And I mean, it's something I always wanted to do, and I kept up with it through various different formations. I did solo stuff, I did duos, I worked with different musicians, but the one thing I've always enjoyed doing is keeping up with my catalog. So the songs I've written over all these years, I still play a lot of them.
Well, what would you describe your genre?
Rock music mostly.
Okay.
Queer theme music, influences brought on by Elton John, but with a little bit more of a hard rock twist, I would say.
You know, you were talking about, we've all lived here a very long time. You were talking recently about, a few seconds ago, about the spirit of the 90s and everything like that.
Yeah.
When I moved here in the mid-90s, there was probably 2 or 3 dozen places that live music could be performed.
Totally.
It's sad for we older folk to see that kind of disappearing. Are you finding that it's tougher and tougher, and are people just looking for different avenues in different cities or everything online? I mean, you're quite active on social media and everything like that. How are you finding the transition over the years?
You know, it's a good question, Jim. I've noticed that too. There used to be a lot more venues completely dedicated to live music, and you're seeing less and less of those.
Yeah.
However, I think Vancouver gets a bad reputation sometimes because you can go out any night of the week and find somewhere to see live music. People are getting more creative with their venues. So you're seeing restaurants, you're seeing house parties, little pop-ups, outdoor music, and it's very exciting. There's always something to do here.
And you've got definitely your finger on the pulse of this because you play live a lot. You've got a lot of upcoming concerts. Now, tell us a little bit about the group that you're playing with this time. Well, you've got a little history with them too, right?
This is really exciting because all the guys I'm playing with now I've known since I was a kid.
Wow.
In 2017, we put out an album called Every Single Sin, and at that point it had been a while since I'd done anything new. For the record release, we needed something special. So I called out some of my good friends, talented musicians, Brad Pedwell, Mikey Chamzuk, and Ian Malinsky, put together this fabulous band, and the show went so well. We had so much fun that we did a series of shows, and we felt we needed to celebrate that sound with a recording, and that's what we have here.
Well, I remember the last time we actually had you on our Instagram account holding up your
Every
last
single sin. That's
CD,
right.
and we've been wanting to get you on the show since then.
Yeah, this has only taken about a year. But
That's
easier to
okay.
organize a UN summit, basically.
This is good timing.
We got just a couple minutes left. Let's talk about the new album. Releases July 10th, as we said, through and out of Suna Studios here in Vancouver. With the Boys, what can people expect with that?
Well, exactly like the title says, it's with the boys. So we've taken songs that have previously been recorded, with the exception of one special one, done new arrangements with the band. So the intention of this record is to capture the live sound of one of our shows. And I really think recording it at Suna Studios, the way we did it, live off the floor with some minimal doctoring afterwards, it's got a really cool sound to it. So I'm very excited. It's a heavier sound than anything I've ever released, but it's got a lot of energy.
And there's a big party coming up on the 10th for the release.
That's right, July 10th.
Where can people find out more information about the CD, or album as we like to call it, old school, and upcoming concert dates this summer and into the fall?
Webpage is the best place, MatthewPresidente.com. You can find everything there, all the social media, and Instagram, Spotify, iTunes.
Great. Well,
It's all
we're
over the
excited.
place.
We look forward to celebrating with you, and well, keep up the good work. This is wonderful.
you
You're
so
keeping
much.
live music alive, and
I appreciate it.
we really do like that in this city.
Very important. Okay, it's Matthew Presidente. The new album, With the Boys, is, or the kids say drops, right? Drops.
I was waiting for Jim to say that.
Drops. I almost coughed that out. I'm too old to say drops. But yes, drops July 10th, which is right around the corner. And it's available, of course, at his website. You get all the information. And thanks to all the folks at Forage here. Come check this great place out on Robson, part of the Listle Hotel And a lovely place, I can say, Lita, I can both say, for breakfast.
We've got lots of treats waiting for us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thanks so much.
Well, we are back where we started the show here at the Royal Crown Castle Restaurant and Bar overlooking the Fraser, the SkyTrain. I tell you, this is beautiful, a lovely Friday night here in New Westminster with Shane, and we have somebody else here. Shane, please do some introductions.
This is Tasha Bradley, our manager.
Hello, and welcome to the show.
If you keep doing that, we wouldn't have to do our job.
Well, you have some dessert out here for us. Chef made up beautifully. Creme caramel.
Creme caramel.
Very nice.
Caramel.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
And
We've had a great meal here.
Yeah, and obviously a great selection of desserts to wrap up the evening, yeah? Before we do wrap up the evening, every time, Shane, we work with you, of course, your father was a legendary restaurateur and musician in Vancouver and everywhere else. He had some restaurants, Rosini's, you may remember if you're from Vancouver. We always like to hold up this photo because I have a lot of great photo ops, as does Lita, but this is the greatest photo op. This is your father back in the mid-50s with I think you recognize the man he's with, a very young Elvis Presley. And I always say to you, your dad looks great. He's just a little bit taller than Elvis too, which is fantastic.
A little bit taller, yeah. He had a great experience with him. He spent about 4 hours with him in the dressing room, and at that time, Elvis didn't have enough money to pay his band.
Aye.
So Dad did 2 shows with him on stage, and it was a great experience. And on behalf of my family and my father, that is yours to keep now.
Oh, come on.
Yep. Yeah.
This is not maudlin. I did not know you were going to do that. That is,
I know. We want you to
I was
enjoy
such
that.
your dad was like a second father to me, so
Yes,
that's
I know.
fantastic. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
You know, I might crop Elvis out and just have a shot of your dad.
That's
actually.
okay, my friend. That's okay.
Anyway, thank you, Shane, and thank you, Tasha. We have had a great time here out in the
Thank you.
burbs. Come check this great place out, just nestled beautifully in a little subdivision overlooking the Fraser River. I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
We will see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
Genesis Lower Mainland with 2 great locations in Richmond and Vancouver. Test drive, purchase, maintenance. They come to you.